Lawyers throughout the Department of Justice are expressing tremendous concern right now over Donald Trump's directive over the weekend to Pam to go ahead and get busy prosecuting all of my political enemies who, of course, have not actually committed any crimes. No, their only crime is that they didn't like Donald Trump, and so Trump wants them prosecuted. And, of course, the U.S. Attorney for Virginia resigned last week because he wouldn't prosecute Letitia James. And so Pam Bondi went ahead and she swore in the new U.S. Attorney, a former Trump defense attorney by the name of Lindsey Halligan. And that, of course, has sent shockwaves through that U.S. Attorney's office in Virginia because they know this is a former Trump lawyer. This is a loyalist to Donald Trump. They're about to have to do a lot of things that are, let's just say, legally dubious. And as such, these lawyers, both in the Virginia U.S. Attorney's Office and in the DOJ in general, are now being advised to purchase legal malpractice insurance because you're going to do some things that are probably going to get you sued or punished by the legal system. I want that fact to sink into everybody for just a moment. These DOJ lawyers, again, both federal and in the U.S. Attorney's Office of Virginia, are being told, y'all probably want to go ahead and get some malpractice insurance. You know, cover yourself, get the liability insurance, because we're about to do some things that, well, you know. Let me read you this. This is from a report from the Wall Street Journal. Lawyers who work in the Virginia outpost, known for handling high-profile national security cases, privately expressed uncertainty Monday about their jobs and concern that the office could be forced to rush out an ill-founded case. Some sought advice from former colleagues and were told to secure insurance against legal malpractice claims. Now, legal malpractice, of course, is similar to medical malpractice. Doctor makes a careless or negligent mistake, they get sued. They purchase malpractice insurance, which, kind of like car insurance, is going to cover you in most of those instances, or at least cover most of it. Same thing with legal malpractice. A lawyer does something because they're negligent or because they're flat out lying about the case, they can be sued for malpractice. The insurance helps with that. But the fact that government lawyers are being told by former government lawyers, you guys need to do this, that says a lot, not only about what these people are going to have to do, but it says a lot about the current state of our justice system in general. We don't have a justice system. We have a politicized, weaponized DOJ that is preparing, because of Trump's tweet this past weekend, or Truth, I should call it, from Truth Social, they're going to start prosecuting his enemies. And they know they don't have cases. Let me read you this. This is from a former New York Assistant District Attorney, Catherine Christian, who said, you know, when these lawyers get busted for whatever it is Trump's going to make them do, it was one thing to say, I was young, I didn't know what I was doing. But saying, my boss made me do it, doesn't play. She is, of course, referring to what is going to happen when these lawyers file these legally dubious claims and get smacked down in court with sanctions, potential disbarment. In other words, she is instructing these lawyers, you can't just go in there and say, I was just following orders. We've seen that doesn't work well. You know, the old Nuremberg defense, I was just following orders. Nope, you're risking your legal license. So these lawyers have a choice in front of them. It's a very easy choice. It's an obvious choice, but some of them are going to make the wrong one. But here it is. You can resign from the government as a lawyer, or you can run the risk of being disbarred and never being able to be a lawyer again. Listen, if you're a lawyer, you went to law school, you've passed the bar. If you're working for the federal government, Those are not necessarily, and I'm just trying to sweeten the deal for any DOJ lawyer maybe watching this, like that's not the highest paying job you could get. You could go literally anywhere in this country, as long as you can pass the bar in that state, and start a law office. You're going to make money. You know, you could join a big plaintiff's firms, go and take on, the pharmaceutical companies, the auto industry, all of these, major polluters. You could make a ton of money doing that. Or you could be an auto accident lawyer. You could be a slip and fall person. You could be any of these things because you do have legal training. It's not like the only place you can get a job is at the DOJ. Oh, but the job market's horrible. Start your own office. You don't have to work for anybody. Work for yourself. It's a great feeling. So, lawyers, you have options. And honestly, literally all of your options are so much better than the other option, which is losing your law license to follow Trump's orders. Thanks for watching, everyone. We're inching closer and closer to 1 million subscribers, and we're aiming to hit that goal before the year closes. So if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please do so, and don't forget to like, comment, and share. Thanks for joining us as we head towards this huge milestone.